What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace to the family. Spiritual cock blocking. Woo! This one's gonna be tantalizing right here. I really appreciate everybody for coming through and letting me teach harder every day now. I just like really getting back in the saddle and teaching up under this good old Mercury Retrograde and all of this stuff. But today's topic is going to be spiritual cock blocking. How to identify it, how to identify spiritual cock blocking, and how to get past it. So, but I can't do it. I ain't doing it by myself. I got some company coming through. Go is bon.
Takoza.
Hi.
Hi.
You might have to put in some earphones because you got a lot of feedback over there on your side.
I do. Okay.
Yes. Reverb. Lamar Fry is in the building. Magus is in the building. Erica Sellers in the building. India Carter's in the building. Go is in the building. Y'all can see us. Sims Divine is in the building. Press 2 if you're going to share this video. What up, Priscilla? Anybody on the spiritual path, you should be pressing 2 and sharing this video. Immediately. Jewels will be dropped. Games will be given. Oh, the minister said that's a good topic that we're doing today. Go, how you feeling today, sweetheart?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling great. It's a wonderful day. I'm excited about this topic. I'm excited about talking about this. Yeah.
Wait. You excited about this topic?
I am excited about this topic.
Oh, well, let me set it up for him.
Okay.
Look, y'all, she over there looking all cute and everything. And y'all, listen, y'all know my reputation when I bring them cute ones on here, how this goes, right? Put watch party on there. This need to be a watch party. When you're on the spiritual path, well, first off, both of us, we're going to talk, let's talk about cock blockers first. And before we put the word spiritual in front of it, okay?
Okay. So, yeah, that's good.
Nobody likes a cock blocker.
Don't nobody like it.
And a cock blocker, for those of you who don't know, is when you are trying to get some from another person and it's just 2 of y'all, and all of a sudden somebody want to slide up in there and you can't get over there to what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, it's you can't get through there, and it's because of the blockage. You know what I'm saying? And nobody likes a cock blocker. A lot of times we call children cock blockers, like a young cock blocker, like you're trying to get something with their daddy or their mama. You know what I'm saying? The child start crying. You done got naked and finally got some energy and stuff. That's happened to you before?
Man, listen, I have 3 children, so yeah, kids find a way. Yeah.
But then
just
they
by
grow
virtue
up.
of them being kids, yeah.
Right. Peace, Sean. But the ones we can't stand the most, though, is these cock blockers out here, these adult cock blockers.
Huh. Grown folk.
Terrible. If somebody's about to get some, you should either assist or slide out the way. Right. And now we're going to add the word spiritual. Let's define spiritual first. You want to do spiritual? What's your definition of spiritual?
I think
spiritual now.
See, I was trying to save this for like the second part of how we are going to get into identifying and getting over these things, because spiritual cock blocking has it's so much bigger than the person that you're having an issue with or the situation that you're currently being presented with. Spiritual cock blocking can definitely come, you're talking about the spirit realm. So then you're talking about the fact that you have ancestors, you have spirit guides, you also have other entities who, for their own purposes, do not want you to accomplish the goal that you came here to accomplish. And so when you start dealing with those types of things, it a lot of times it is above your everyday person's pay grade. You need to find yourself a guide who can help navigate that realm. Because if you got a spirit or an entity or whatever you want to call it, even if it's a contrary ancestor, because every ancestor ain't here, ain't elevated. Every ancestor is not.
We
Some
do
of
have
our
some trifling
ancestors,
ancestors.
okay, some of our ancestors have not learned the lesson, which is why you and I have been chosen to work these situations out in our current experience here on earth. So if you've got an issue in that realm and you're not trained on how to navigate that realm, you need to go find somebody who can help you navigate that realm. But that's again on the back end, I feel, because since we're in it, we might as well get in it.
Oh, wait. Oh, before we
Oh,
get in
okay.
it,
Cause I was about to get in it.
now we want you, I want you to, we always got to do formal introductions. Everybody
Oh,
needs to know
okay.
what energy's around. So, I'm Coach
Understood.
Kyer, Team
Okay.
Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. Could you please identify yourself, Team Zodiac, and what city and state you represent today as well?
All right. Tokoza, I am Gogo Mkanyakudi Yazamindini, and I am Team Leo. My birthday is on Saturday. Hello. And I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here in Atlanta,
Word.
Georgia.
And can
Yeah.
you and before you go in, because I'm not only in love with you, I'm also in love with your background. Can you give people a little bit of your, what I'm saying, little 30 seconds of like your
30
background, where you
seconds.
come from and like where you at right now and where we heading, and then you can jump back into to the heat you was about to bring.
Okay. So I am a former minister, former pastor. I left Christianity as a faith based system in 2009. Between 2009 and 2016, a lot of life happened and a lot of awakenings happened. And my journey led me to, eventually led me to South Africa to be trained in the ancient traditional healing practice of Ubungoma. And I am a fully initiated Sangoma, which is a South African traditional healer, what your movies would call a witch doctor, what the natives or indigenous people will call a shaman or traditional healer. Basically, I'm just here to help you unpack your shit. That's my job, is to help you unpack, because it's heavy and it's
Word.
weighing you down, and we can't move forward if we're heavy with stuff.
So you're saying that in your job of unpacking, it's okay for you to talk about spiritual cock blockers?
Oh, absolutely. And the reason why, and this is why I love you, because you're like the segue master. The reason why it's so true. The reason why it's okay is because you can't talk about someone interrupting your flow without first looking at your flow and yourself and the ways in which you are not showing up for yourself in a healthy and productive way, and the ways that you are blocking your own cock. You can't get off. You can't get your rocks off. You can't experience the elation and the joy that comes from being in complete alignment with the universe and with yourself, because you are in your own way. So this is the very first step in identifying the spiritual cock blockers. You have to be able to see what you see when you see it in yourself. So you see that another person has possibly positioned themselves in a way as to interrupt your bag. You know, they blocking your bag, your spiritual bag, your blessing. They're in the way at your job. You got a husband or a wife or a partner or whoever that is, you know, not compliant. You got a supervisor that's, you know, you got these issues and people that seem to have their focus set on you. Another word for cock blocker could be hater, but I really hate that because it just is so overused. I like cock blocker because it kind of has a shock value, you know. Um, and it also has a sexual connotation because what we're talking about is you feel like someone else is inhibiting your ability to create
And manifest and
and
heal.
manifest and heal. You feel like there is something that someone is doing that is powerful enough to stop you from being you.
Now, for those of you, pause, let me just get in here for a second. Now, for those of you, I really love how she took it to that angle because even though she's talking about self accountability right now, when it's my turn, I'm gonna also talk about real life cock blockers, spiritual cock blockers, like entities. So I
Absolutely.
1000% agree with because the coin got two sides. She's a
Absolutely.
million% right. You know what I'm saying? And you should be as disgusted with yourself as you are with somebody in between you and getting some nookie. You know what I'm saying? Or some spiritual nookie. But
Right.
I'm gonna let her finish, but I just want to let y'all know, stay tuned now. Don't skip and be like, oh, this is all gonna be about me. No, we're gonna
No,
help you
no, 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 no,
identify.
no. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's definitely not that because but it is that because everything that exists in your realm is about you. Everything is a reflection of you. Everything, and see the way that we say, well, you know, I would never do X, Y, and Z, what's being done to me. You know, I would never block somebody else's blessing on purpose. But that's not entirely true when you don't always show up for yourself in a certain way because you become the somebody whose blessing you're blocking.
Mm,
You
facts.
know, facts. And so you attract reflections of that. And so that's kind of the very first thing. And that's why I said is the call try to come through.
You still
Um,
here? Come on.
yeah, hold on, but you're playing in the background. Oh God, hold on.
What's playing in the background?
You, I'm hearing. I'm gonna have to hang up and like call back because. Okay,
Okay,
wait. Are we good? I think we're good. Oh
I'm
no,
good.
it's still doing it. I'm still. It's like on a delay. It's on a delay.
Okay, okay. So go out and then come back in.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read some of the commentary, or I'm gonna wait till she gets back before I read the commentary because I want her to hear it too. Let me
Mm.
help her get off of there. Okay, there we go. What up, Quayle? Priscilla Hernandez. What do y'all think about what we talking about so far? We just getting warmed up. Thanks everybody for joining live where we teach harder. For what up, Nova's son, Renee Smith. Oh, we getting ready. She'll be back in just a second. Peace to Darwin. Thanks everybody for sharing this video. Please press 2 if you got love for Coach Collier. Go on and share the video and get it up out there. I'm gonna read y'all's comments when she get back because I want to do a double commentary, especially what Tora is saying. Hey Tora, mwah, my 9-0 projector. Y'all making some very good points, but I just want Go to be right there at the same time. Tora, I I have another one that I want to do with you today, but Go had just called me out the blue, and I was like, man, when we started talking, man, I don't know why. If I'm not answering a text fast enough, then somebody called me like I'm doing something. So, hey, Andrea. Okay, here we go. She's back. All right. I think it's trying. I love my Mercury retrograde. It's uh, trying to hold up the party. No, Tori, you are supposed to be here. What are we doing? Everybody just be patient because we're talking about spiritual cock blockers. Yeah. And how to identify them and how to get past them. Can you break generational cycles that are spiritually blocking us? What up, Matthew? Hey, how to break generational cycles that are spiritually blocking us? We're going to get to that, Miss Upright. Go ahead, what you were saying. I wanted to just give you two of the comments, though, and I wanted to respond to one of them myself. Uh, Somebody said we can't allow another energy, let alone a negative vibration, come through to interfere with our movement, our purpose, or our alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And then Taurus says, I've never felt like anyone was stopping me from doing anything I want. Never felt like I've been cock blocked. Right. But
Okay.
this is for not just for like we before you might have came on, Taurus, not just for your own personal cock blocking. It's other for other people can still cock block you too. Okay, so we talked about kids. You came on here late. We talked about how kids could be cock blockers and several other things. So just roll with us, and we're gonna get to all of that. Um, Go ahead and what you were saying. I'm sorry. Go before somebody tried to get in. We see somebody was cock blocking just now. You see how somebody tried to call. They tried to call her
Yep.
and call me while we trying to teach a spiritual class on blocks. But
Exactly.
ooh, I got to skip right to that. Gogo told me on the phone. She said I'm notorious for overcoming spiritual cock blocking. That's really where
Mm-hmm.
this whole conversation came from.
Yeah.
She's notorious. And I was like, well, I used to raise pit bulls. And when you got pit bulls, you want a dog that is game. There's a dog
Mm-hmm.
with win, a dog with bite, and a dog with game. Game is you won't quit. So we're going
Mm-hmm.
to try to give y'all some principles on how to identify and get past the cock blockers, whether it's yourself or whether it's your mama or like you said, your husband or whoever else is trying to stop you from
Mm-hmm.
getting the bag. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. Gogo is Team Leo. Her birthday is in 7 days. You do have a twin in here. Somebody else says 727 twin. I think
Hey.
that was I got to scroll way back. Misha Lash, what's up? Misha Lash is your twin. She's
Hey,
727.
Misha.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Misha.
So go ahead. Let's go on and get back to it.
Yeah. So from before we were so rudely interrupted, we were just really talking about how one of the ways that you can identify within yourself, um, areas that you are caught blocking yourself. You're blocking your own progress. You are your own biggest stumbling block, and a lot of times we, because we're so wrapped up in our own minds and our own lives and the in and out and the day to day of it all, we don't really take the time to sit down and get down to the nitty gritty and the root of it all. But one of the ways that is very easy, or not, I won't say easy, but it's a simple tool to use, and that's really just paying attention to what is coming up in you when you are confronted with the opposition of whatever the opposing situation is, or the other person, or whatever is coming up in you. Like, really sit with it, really pay attention to it, you know uh, uh, talk to it, let it tell you where it hurts for real, and so that you
Mm.
can get into the business of your own healing, because that is how you become the best mirror that you can be, is you get into your healing. If someone were to ask me, how does one become a master teacher or a guru or anything like that, I would tell them there really is no secret. These are people who at every opportunity took the time and made the effort to really sit with themselves and learn themselves and understand what their triggers were, where the pain was coming from, what was underneath all the layer, you know what I mean? And they took that moment by moment and they made use of the information that came from that synthesis, so once you're able to once you're able to sit with yourself, and this is the reason why I started with this, is because really this particular part of it, Kyer, is fundamental, I believe, to really overcoming kind of anything that presents itself. You have to be able to develop the relationship with yourself to the point where you recognize um, your own ability to be courageous and your own ability to be resilient and your own ability, so that you're not so thrown by the fact that something is in your way. It's a path. Of course, something isn't going to be in your way. It's going to be a rock. It's going to be a rabbit that's going to run in front of you. If you might have to stop at a traffic light, you know what I'm saying? You might have to take a detour. It's a path. Of course, you're going to have obstacles. You're
I,
not, yeah.
I think a part of what you're talking about right now is, in my nutshell, is self-discovery is the first leg of the race.
Yeah.
Self-discovery is the first leg of the race. Peace to the God conscious king. Peace to all the folks coming on here. Please state your team zodiac and what city and state you represent, and press 2 after you share this bad boy, because somebody is suffering through this right here. They
Mm-hmm.
suffering through
It's,
self-discovery, and they definitely not being able to get their spiritual bag because there's something in the way. Go ahead, go on and finish what you were saying about seeing those things inside of you, sitting with it, and then what you're learning more about your capabilities when you run
mm-hmm.
into these blocks.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that my Baba and my Baba Mkulu shared with me over the course of my initiation period was that challenges are teachers, challenges are gifts. Opposition is a lesson it's an opportunity to realign. Okay, a challenge is an opportunity for you to realign. It is an opportunity for you to uh, do a systems check, and see,
Mm,
especially if that challenge is really buffeting you, if it's really affecting you, if you're really feeling, your emotions are involved and it's got you all out of sorts, and it's triggering things and all of that, especially if you triggered. Those are those are like the lights on your dashboard. I think you and I have had that conversation before. That's when you need to pull your car over and lift the hood or take it to a shop so you can get a diagnostic run on it to see what's going on. So how you're reacting and responding, what they say, the problem is not the problem is your reaction to the problem. So
this is this is the oh no, go ahead, finish that thought.
if you're having a reaction to the problem, and if depending on the severity of your reaction, that's going to let you know how much out of alignment you are with your true self, with your mission and your purpose and all of that.
What spirit keep telling me right now is a lot of y'all is too damn romantic.
Mm.
And you have to realize, because self-discovery, after self-discovery, is self-acceptance. Because
Yes.
sometimes you think, I'm riding in my car, the light come on the dashboard, and then you don't want to accept the fact that, oh, nothing could be wrong with my car. It can't be
Mm-hmm.
me. It must be something else. It must be the
Mm-hmm.
road. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's your shocks. It's not the road is raggedy. It's your shocks. But you're so romanticized,
Mm-hmm.
or living in this, y'all get, some people get too Piscean. Maybe you got a not so well aspected Neptune, or something that's jacked up in Pisces. You got, and you don't want to face reality. And you
Right.
just like,
Right.
well, I'm just going to be romantic about this situation, and it can't be me. And
Right.
then it keeps on getting more and more uncomfortable, right? So, and then it is some time for some self acceptance of internal cock blocking,
Mm-hmm.
because if you can't do internal acceptance that you're too religious about some of your own ideologies
Mm.
and getting to where you want to be,
Mm.
then when we get to step two about pointing the nigga out and shining some light on somebody who's really trying to cock block you, you
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna have no authority. You ain't gonna
Exactly.
really be no. You gotta be the spiritual sovereign first to be like, me and Gogo talk about this a lot. Where the
Mm-hmm.
hoes at? What a sexually liberated at? What y'all know? You like, wait a minute, she's an African healer, and y'all talking about where the hoes at?
Yeah.
Like sexual liberation is for real, for real. But
Yeah.
if you still caught up in, I had a client this morning, so gifted, got God trying to talk all through her, but she using it to manipulate other people to say what she think they want to hear from her, and
Mm.
then she doesn't like the people around her because you're not being your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
So she already blocking herself from the bag. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that self-discovery, and please quit being so damn romantic. You got to
Yeah.
accept the fact that maybe I'm not being 1,000 about this, and this whole dream thing that I seen when I went through enlightenment. I thought when I finished, I never have to work again a day in my life. My teacher was like, my nigga, you're gonna keep chopping wood and you're gonna keep hauling water. I was like, no days off. He was like, nights either. You know what I'm saying? Days or nights, you ain't got no more time off. So yeah, go ahead. I know you over there. I see I might have triggered some other good stuff over there. Let me
Oh
keep
no,
triggering
no,
good
no,
stuff. Yes,
no.
ma'am.
It's all good because what you're talking about is so real. The self-acceptance, realizing and seeing where you are the toxic person in your own life and filtering that out. Because a lot of us talk about, one of the things that I really don't like to hear people say is, kill the ego. And I say, if you kill the ego, you become a robot, you become an automaton, you become a non-individual when you kill the ego. Okay. And that completely eradicates your purpose for incarnating or reincarnating on this planet, in this realm at this time. The purpose here is to experience and to interact. It is an interactive universe that we live in.
Experiment. Put that in there. Experiment.
Experiment. We will put that in there. We will put that in there. I have no problem with that at all, because you're absolutely right. But that's an entirely different conversation.
We can go there. I just say experience. Experience is when you're the caboose of the train. You know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
you just experiencing things around you, but you're not actively participating. But when it turns into a experiment, now you become the alchemist. That's what we're trying to get you
Yeah.
to do. Now you got a choice down here. That's God's big joke. I give you a choice. You want to be
Yep.
the alchemist and
Yep.
experiment? I got something for you. But if you want to be, excuse me, the sucker MC, and you just want to experience everything and just, then you're
Right.
gonna be the caboose. But
Right.
me, I don't want to experience nothing no more. I want to damn. If I do experience it, I want to be a result of my experiment. I
Yes, I
mixed
feel
it.
you
I shook it
1000%.
up. I put some light
Absolutely.
on there.
Absolutely.
I either smoked it or I drunk it or I put it on or something. You know what I'm saying?
I
Go
feel
ahead, go
you.
ahead, go ahead.
No, 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 no. I feel you. I feel you. But it is the reality is that once you, and I like that, and I like that analogy of the lab and the experiment, and you are, the scientist. You're both the scientist and the experiment at the same time, which is the wonderful paradox of our universe, right?
Ooh,
And so
ooh.
you make me so sick. So you're both the experiment and the scientist. And once you are able to synthesize and get the results of your experiment, and you're able to look now at the fear, or look at the shame, or look at the guilt, or look at the betrayal, or look at the trauma, or whatever it is that is really at the root of why you are resistant to your own growth, then you're able then to begin to perform secondary experiments and really begin to um, see how you can use what you can use, what needs to be discarded, because everybody talks about the shadow self and, getting over your shadow, like we said, killing the ego, all this stuff. No, 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 no. You need what's in the dark. You need that side of yourself. You need, even though the darkness is where the fear lives, fear isn't bad. Most of us just let fear build up, and it paralyzes us instead of transmuting it into an energy that can propel us forward. Most of us don't know how. We haven't been guided. We haven't been taught on. We don't remember.
Right. You're supposed to be aware of fear, but you're not supposed to
Right.
submit to fear. If you're gonna
Right.
submit to something, submit to love,
Right.
submit to wisdom.
Right.
Don't submit to fear. Don't
Right.
submit to doubt. Don't submit
Right.
to anxiety. Don't submit to depression. Like that's when you jacked up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And some
Right.
of the when we always talk about self-protection, one of the largest things you can do for self-protection is be honest. A lot of
Yes.
what she said, a lot of what she just said. Wait a minute, she in church. Wait a minute, I got the church clap. You you got to.
You
She
got to
did bring
tell the
something.
truth. You got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth to yourself about what it is that you really desire, what it is that you really like, what it is that you don't like, what it is that you want, what you don't want. And that takes practice and repetition, and it takes going through some things. It takes being buffeted. Was it Rumi that said,
Why don't
how will you be polished if you can't stand to be rubbed?
why is it that people don't want to do that though? Why are people so listen now, hold on. I'm gonna set this all the way up because I don't know if
Okay.
you've been listening. On my page, I'm on a mission of there's a word I'm against, and it's called vulnerability. I
Okay.
think vulnerability is some bullshit because vulnerability means I haven't been being honest in the past. Because
Mm.
if I'm radically honest and I stand on my truth, I don't gotta look over my shoulder. I can't get sideswiped if I'm being honest. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't be vulnerable if I'm being honest, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so people come up and be like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I'm about to be vulnerable." The first thing I think is, well, that means you've been lying. You've been lying. So why do people find it so difficult to be authentic?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to be authentic before you start to practice. I like what I love the word practice.
Mm-hmm.
Practice more than study. They said,
Yeah.
Kyle, how long you been studying astrology? I don't know, but I've been practicing for damn 16 years. I'm always practicing. Studying, I don't know, the whole time, maybe 4 years, but a lot of practice.
A lot of
But
practice.
why do you think, or in your research or your dealings with human beings all over the world, why do people take so long to become authentic, and they want to hide, and they don't want to do that work and stuff, and they want to give you excuses and tell you how hard it is and how people are against them and they're a victim, and then they like you, and then they start blaming the cock blocker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a number of different reasons. I mean, you have social conditioning, of course, you know, you have religious conditioning, you have family conditioning,
Ooh.
and you have spiritual and emotional laziness. Some people are emotionally lazy. They're spiritually lazy. They don't want to do the work. There's no reason, you know, other than they don't want to do it. Because the same fear that the emotionally or spiritually lazy person experiences is the same fear that the person who overcomes their obstacles is experiencing and facing. It's the same. Fear is fear. Shame is shame. You just don't want to, or perhaps in the case of what we were talking about in the very beginning, there is something that is buffeting you from the other side. But normally when you're being afflicted by some entity, or you got an ancestor that's just out of control or whatever, it's more than just somebody that you don't like that's going wrong in your life. we all got people that we don't mess with. You know what I mean? We all got people that we don't vibe with. Not everybody's on your frequency. Not everybody's part of your tribe. Not everybody comes from the same place you come from. So if you know, you're gonna have those moments. So it's more than that. It's more than having a falling out with a loved one. When you've got an entity, or you've got an more than an entity, I would really say you've got an unsettled, unevolved, unelevated ancestor. You got war in your blood that there's no peace to be found at the moment. That's when you need to go talk to somebody. That's when you pull your car off the road and you call a tow truck, and you call AAA and you have them haul your vehicle to a certified repair technician, somebody who knows what they're looking at when they look under the hood. And that's not me caping for my tradition as a Sangoma. That's me having had to go to a Sangoma to get my shit worked out. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's from my experience.
Yes.
That's me
Yes.
understanding spiritual protocol and spiritual hierarchy, because the spirit realm has their rules, and certain places you can't go into if you've not paid the appropriate price.
Ooh.
That's going to take us
Talk
into a
about
whole
that.
different conversation. No, because it's, I know the whole new age thing and the whole, my spirituality is unique and individual. And that is 1000% true. It is, you are a unique expression of the universe in motion. However,
Hold it. Okay, go to
however, there are rules to the realms that you don't even see. There are rules. There are rules. If everything is everything, and if there are rules in this realm, there are rules in the other realm. Like if everything
pages
is
and pages.
everything,
Look, volumes and volumes of rules too. It's levels.
it's levels. It is levels to this thing. And so that's why it is important to, for spiritual leadership to have integrity, so that people feel comfortable in getting it sorted out.
I want to go ahead and move over to talking about identifying external cock blockers, because you did an
Okay.
excellent job on internal cock blockers. But
Okay.
before we go and
Mm-hmm.
switch over to that, somebody's just got finished saying, and they might have came in late to the conversation,
Okay.
elevating ancestors is key. And I'm going to say this for the record. All of your ancestors ain't worthy to sit on your altar to be elevated. Now, it's a lot of people, oh, she back in church. Listen,
Not
because you
all of
died,
them.
and
Woo!
because you in my blood lineage,
Listen.
first off, your ass might not even like me, and then you can't help because you still are totally confused because of the Bully Chris's is the Wizards app that you did over here
The Bully Chris's
that
is Wizards
makes you
out.
ineligible.
You are
Yeah.
ineligible.
Like for us, when you see somebody coming on here doing something with me and Go-Go, me and Tora, what we really doing is trying to get our shit together so we can deserve to be called ancestors. When we get there, then listen, it's no movie that's no more emotional than when you see the knight kneel down and get knighted by the queen. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel that just rushing through you when you see
So Koza
somebody
Baba.
when they come down and put that clay on your forehead, or they put that, the Native Americans put that war paint on you because you done deserved it. To me, that's my heaven.
Because
When they
you've
say, you
done
know
the
what?
work. You've done the work
You've
that
done
they
the
called you
work.
to do.
And you also deserve to be an ancestor,
Right.
not a willy-nilly jack-off that's gonna go over there in that
Right.
section.
And that's one of the
So
reasons
all of your
why.
ancestors, go ahead.
No, we getting ready to say the same thing. That's why in my tradition, we say Amadlozi. Amadlozi is your ascended ancestors and spirit guides. There's a qualifier. Sure.
Oh, what's the word? What's the word
Uh,
again?
ascended.
No.
Ascended.
Amadlozi.
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 Amad.
Amadlozi. Amadlozi.
Amadlozi.
Amadlozi.
Amadlozi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
Amadlozi.
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 Yeah, that's the South
Amadlozi.
African Zulu um, cosmological understanding of partially of the ancestral realm. Yeah, Amadlozi. And
Hey, so when
Amadlozi,
y'all,
because it's not just who's in your blood, it's spirit guides. So say for instance, you have a stepdad that raised you and that you were close to. Okay. When that stepdad dies, you he becomes part of your spiritual court because he was influential in your development and in your upbringing. So that expands the idea of just your ancestors, the people, so yeah, I'm at Lozi. Yeah, bro.
what I used, I mean, I love talking to you because you always put me on so much game. You give me some more spiritual gems, as my man calls it, spiritual vittles. But I used to say, people used to ask me, well, who do I put on my altar? And I say, well, did they feed you? And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I say, well, did you put, if I put my feet under your table, then you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna sit at my table. That's how I
Mm.
look at it. But now I even go further and say, not only did you feed me when I was hungry, like my Aunt Maggie fed me. She never turned me down. I could go to her house anytime, morning, noon, or night. Boy, go in there and get you something to eat. She always gonna be eating. But then when I put the second qualifier and say, did she sit me down and give me wise counsel? Did she
Mm-hmm.
look out for me while I was here? she
Mm-hmm.
gets she gets two more check marks. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so she's the ascended ancestor that did the work and
Mm-hmm.
fed me. She fed me on all levels. She fed me
Mm-hmm.
in my maturity process. She comforted me when I, emotionally. So yeah, so when you choosing ancestors to put on there, don't just be picking somebody just because they was your uncle and they died and they need some help.
Mm.
Were they helping out while they were here?
Yeah.
Because you put somebody wrong on your altar and you throw the chemistry off. We ain't even talk about altar chemistry. You
Yeah.
throw the you. It's just
Yeah.
like putting some, like you don't drink well, you shouldn't drink beer and milk maybe, or something like wine and soda. You're gonna
Yeah.
mess up the chemistry in the stomach.
Right.
So yeah, that's that piece
Yeah.
right there.
And just to further clarify, Ahmed Lozi also includes the ancestors who you don't know, the ones
Mm,
that you don't know
mm.
because they lived so far back in time, you know, because you are not just guided by your dearly beloved grandmother or grandfather or great grandfather, you are guided by tens of thousands of years of ancestors,
Qualified
millions of
ancestors.
years of qualified. You are guided by these ancestors, and you are the result of you are the ancestors, actually. You are the 2.0 or 5.0 or 125 million.0 of all of your ancestors. You are them, literally, physically, in the flesh. So anyway, getting back to what we're talking about, that's the very first step, is identifying the places within yourself, the areas within yourself where you are not honoring your gift. I'll be very transparent and say that my ancestors let me know. They said, the depression comes because you're not operating in your gift. You're not standing on your square. The depression comes because you're not doing what we called you to do. And that can sound like very selfish, like all these ancestors, they just want me to work for them or whatever. But I am a witness, and I know that you are, and I know that there's, a couple of people on here that are witnesses, that when you do what they called you to do, because the truth is your ancestors really haven't called you to do or be anything other than yourself, your true self, your full self, your whole self. That's really what the ancestors are calling for. That's really, you know, for those of you who like to use the word God, that's really what God is calling for, is for you to be you and to be 100% authentic with yourself, 100% honest with yourself to the best, you know, as you grow, not all at once, because it don't work like that. But every opportunity that arises is an opportunity for you to tell the truth. The Bible says in John 4:24 and 25, it says that God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. And see, a lot of us like the spirit. We like the ritual. We like to light the sage and burn the candles and play the songs and ring the bells and, you know, dance the dance and wear the clothes and play the part. We like the spirit part. We like to feel we like to, you know, we like to feel the energy, the spirit moving. That's why we hooked on church, because we like the feeling. We like the feeling, but then there's truth. If you're going to deal with the divine, you have to deal in truth. What do you really want to see in your life? And so that then begs the question, because the question then becomes, what is the block that leads to another, you know, every door leads to another door. So this, the door that this leads to is, what is the block? What is it that you can't get over within yourself that is causing you with your powerful self to manage?
No freezing up. No freezing up. I'm taking notes. She can't freeze up now.
Am I?
No. You had dang Mercury Retrograde. Cut it out. We trying to do class here. Nigga, I done got notebook out and shit. You're gonna have to back up about 30 seconds.
Back?
Yeah, go back about 30 seconds. Don't just stop that and just come back. Just press the button again and come back in. What I'm taking notes in on what she said, honesty in what you want, and then I was gonna be honest what you have, and then 3, why you have them. Who's Renee talking about damn cock blocks? She left off at to manifest. Boy, Jokers is hanging on to every word. Whoa. Whoa. Get back in here. We're trying. Y'all just be patient. We're trying. Thank you, Miss Hines. I see you up in there. I know you here. I'm trying to add you. It won't add you. She giving everybody life. How many of y'all taking notes? Press 1 if you're taking notes. Press 1 if you had to be like me and you ain't got your notebook. Team Taurus in Christmas, Florida, I see you. Can't hear who? Don't say that. Don't say you can't hear me. We're talking about spiritual cock blocking today, ladies and gentlemen. For certain. Come on in here, girl. Get on here. When you see me and I got a guest, don't come up here tripping talking about I couldn't find no paper. It should be some paper sitting by the phone that you could take notes on. It must be some heat. See, it's some spiritual cock blockers out here right now hating on this lesson that we trying to bring right now. I got to sit back. I have commentary. I'm gonna jump in just until she get back. She might have to turn her whole phone off or something and come back in. She said honesty, being honest with what you want, tell the truth. So for me, the first virtue is, hold on, let me take y'all on a quick tour of Coach Kyer's house. Some of y'all ever been to my house before? Let me show y'all something. Come on. I'm in my office right now. Y'all see that? No. Hold on, I wanted to just prove a point to some folks, right, real quick.
Okay.
that how when we talk about living in truth, we not
Mm-hmm.
joking. So let me show y'all something. So this is my front door. If you come to this house, you're gonna have to come through this door to get over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Soon as you come through this door, watch this. Boom, house rules. Uh-oh. I'm talking like you how many inches is look at that. See, it's not even 6 inches before you know what the house rules is. So if you come over here, I'm gonna immediately get on you. But one of the house rules is what go what that say? I can't read it. What that say?
Honesty.
What that say up
Honesty
under that? To who?
to myself and others at all times.
When? When?
At all times.
And you just got finished talking about you got to tell the truth.
You
Okay,
have to
I'm
tell the
okay. I'm
truth.
done. What? The four virtues because the masters that came before me. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
follow their. That's how they became masters.
Right.
Being honest, being humble, being patient, being sincere. But right now we're just talking about this one right here. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Everybody was hanging on your every word before you left. You know what I'm saying? So they
Mercury.
said that you left. Oh, it's all good. Nah. I put this on a spiritual cop block.
On the
Somebody was on this
spiritual.
block.
It's all right
Yeah,
though,
somebody
because
don't
like
want
I
this lesson
told
to
you
get out.
earlier, I'm notoriously well known in the spirit realm for overcoming obstacles. Notoriously well known. It is the story of my life. See, you can either be the victim your whole life and say, this keeps happening to me, and this has happened to me, and this happened, and then this happened, and then that happened. Then can you believe that this happened? Or you can look at the fact that you have overcome hurdles, whether they were by your own design, whether they were handed to you, you inherited them, whether they were something that was sent to you, intentionally by someone who is playing the role of your enemy, which is really somebody who is just refusing to deal with their own shit and they trying to play another role other than themselves, because there is no enemy other than the one within. So you can't be me. So you're not my enemy. So let's really deal with anyway. So,
They said you. They said you left off. They said the last thing they heard you was talking about to manifest something. You were talking about the truth, and then it started going blurry. And the last thing they heard
oh,
you say was,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, you can't everybody wants to manifest greatness. Everybody wants to their dreams to come true, or at least that's what they say. But when you're getting down into the nitty-gritty of dealing with the spirit realm and spiritual matters, and using the tools of manifestation, which are your creativity and your imagination and your energy and your focus and everything, you have to tell the truth. You have to be honest with yourself about not only what you want to manifest, but why you want to manifest it. And I think the why is so much more important than the what, because a person could want $1 million or desire to manifest $1 million. Two people. One person wants this $1 million because they want to buy some land and they want to build a school and a cultural center and some housing, or they want to do something good with it. The other person could want $1 million just because they want to be rich and that's what they feel like they're supposed to be, and they have no intention of recycling that currency back into the universe. They just want to floss. They just want to be rich because they hate being poor, and they never made peace with being poor or peace with the poverty that they found themselves in, and they internalized it, and instead of observing it they internalized it, and so now they want the money to just stun on these hoes.
and I'm for stunting on hoes. I'm for stunting. I talked to a client today about stunting, but I added
Pro
three
stunt.
other things. Yeah, pro stunts. I added three more things while you were gone to my list about
Okay.
things you have to tell the truth about or be honest about. So she
Mm-hmm.
said you need to be honest about what you want. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm 1,000,000% about that. But then if you want something and you don't have it, there's these other three things you need to be honest and tell the truth about too.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be honest about what you currently have.
Yeah.
Then you also need to tell the truth about why you are where you are,
Come on.
and why you have what you currently have.
Absolutely.
Because we're all gatekeepers. It don't matter. You could look and be like, well, I haven't been initiated yet. Well, then you're your own personal gatekeeper. When you
Mm-hmm.
get initiated, now you can be gatekeeper over for some other folks when they come through,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're custodians. I call
Custodians. I
myself
like that.
I'm the keeper of the keys. I
Mm-hmm.
unlock doors and I lock doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's so many locked doors though. My job more is going around trying to open doors, but I can't open them as a good custodian. I can't unlock a cage until it's safe outside and inside. It's got to be safe outside for what's inside coming out, and it's
Mm-hmm.
got to be what's inside needs to be safe to come blend with what's outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got in the cage because you was already jacked up. But as a custodian, if I'm not honest with what I already have, how can I get some more? I always tell the story of the little boy and the ice cream and his daddy. He goes in the ice cream shop and he says, "I want vanilla, chocolate, caramel, and Superman." And his
Mm-hmm.
daddy says, "You can only have one scoop." Yeah, yeah, tyrannical children. And the daddy goes ahead and submits and says, "You give him four scoops anyway, right?" He
Mm-hmm.
gets four scoops and the ice cream parlor is small. The little boy turns around, takes about 5 steps, and right when he gets to the door about to go outside, the ice cream, all four scoops fall on the ground. And he
Mm-hmm.
turns and says, eh, eh, and he looking at his daddy, right? Now his daddy's like, I shouldn't get you shit else because I told you.
Right.
But we're going back over here and I'm gonna get you some ice cream. And his daddy says, what? One scoop.
One scoop.
One scoop, because you just showed me what kind of ice cream custodian you are.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So
Right.
now when it comes to the spiritual realm, or you're asking for financial wealth, were you a good custodian with what you already had? You know
That
how
is,
many lottery winners are lost all their money
I
because
mean,
they
broke.
weren't good custodians in the first place?
Broke.
And then they bring the same habits. So for me, I just need now my habits, my money just got to catch up with my habits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now
Yeah.
I feel I have billionaire habits. For certain,
Okay.
I have $100 million habits. Absolutely. I'm trying to develop billionaire habits. I let
Right.
my money catch up to my habits.
Right.
Because it's terrible if you got the money and then your habits got to catch up. That's when you're in trouble.
Right.
So you have to be honest and tell the truth. What do I want? Why don't I have it? Can you be
Yeah.
honest about the second
Yes.
question?
Woo. You are preaching, Reverend.
They call me Dr. Love. You know what I'm
Dr.
saying? In
Love,
some
they
circles,
you
you know what I'm
preaching
saying?
so hard. Can you be honest about why you don't have what you have? That is such a powerful freaking question, because that's, if you really want to talk about what's blocking, it is 9 times out of 9.5, it is to be honest about why they are in the position, no matter what that position is in relationship to the obstacle. Why are you even in this position to begin with? Why is this even a thing to begin with, and can you be honest with yourself? And it's a lot that goes into that. Like, this is not like a general kind of band-aid thing when you apply it to yourself, because you really have to um, sit with yourself and get into your own vibration and get into your own frequency and plug into yourself. One of the ways one of the ways that I began to cultivate a more healthy, progressive self-image and relationship with myself was to use, you and I have talked about, like, using mnemonic devices. Like, a mnemonic device is, when you're writing out a word, and you're writing out the word receive, and you're like, I before E, except after C, mentally. Like, you use that mental trick to remind you of the rules of the game that you're playing. Well, it's the same thing when you talk about overcoming obstacles that you've created within yourself, or that you've allowed to be created within yourself. or even obstacles that are present in relationship to other people and external stimuli. One of the mnemonic devices that I use is, we talked about the movie theater screen, or I didn't talk about it with you. I talked about it with my best friend. Hey, best friend. I think she's on here. Stasia, what's up? Hey, if you need like a stylist, or you need somebody to help you organize your closet, you need somebody to help glam you up, you need a glam squad, whether it's for an event or whether it's just you, you know, upping the value of your life, please hit my girl up, Stasia Lael. Please put your information up in here. I hope you don't mind, Kair. You know, a little
I
shameless
see her.
promotion for the people that I love. She's the bomb. Every time you've seen my face on Facebook with the bomb makeup, Stasia has been the one to do it. She is the truth. So please, please, please hit her up. She's in the DC area, but she will travel. So there's that. And just thought and felt to do that because we were talking before you and I got on the live. And one of the things that I told her, I said, you know, I started to, because I love movies. My ancestors know I love movies, right? My ancestors know I love movies. And so sometimes they talk to me and to give me messages. And so I decided that I was going to use the image of being in a movie theater. And I'm sitting in a movie theater all by myself, and on the screen is the story of me. And it's a movie that I wrote and that I directed and I starred in, and I'm screening my movie of me. And so as I'm watching my movie of me, I'm realizing that the things that I'm actually doing in my present real-time life, I'm really just mimicking what I've already seen on the movie screen in my mind, the story of me. Because if on the movie screen, if I walk into a room and I'm holding my laundry basket, that means in the movie, that means the room is decorated, the house is built, the situation is already prepared and what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in my real life, I'm just mimicking what I see on the screen. And because I like happy endings, and because I don't like horror and I don't like a lot of violence and I don't like, you know, this is my movie is going to paint me in a light that is progressive. And, you know, yeah, she's got her ups and downs, she's got her obstacles, but she's also determined. She's also focused. This character that is me, you know, and that's tapping into my inner child, because as kids, we always used to mimic who we saw on TV. We always used to mimic and play out different, you know, music videos or the video game or the movie, or did you see when Superman did X, Y, and Z? So then I'm my own superhero on the screen. And so that's how I developed my own healthy self-image. And so I think that a lot of people, when you talk about getting over the obstacles in their lives and they feel like they don't know how, it's because something's wrong with the projector in their mind, and their mind's eye is not creating an image that is beneficial to their progress. And so what you see and what you imagine is what you create. And so then your relationships become hectic.
Pause. I'm getting in right here. And the reason some of you are creating and are such geniuses and Steven Spielbergs at having chaotic relationships and cock blocking yourself is because you're always talking about how jacked up of a victim you are and how someone did you wrong. So that's all that's playing on your screen all the time.
All the
You don't
time.
have any good stories. You don't have
Right.
any good stories. Like, I want to be in a relationship, or even if I go out on a date, I don't mind if a woman is like, "You're not having sex, but I'm gonna tell you about some bomb ass sex I just had recently." I would rather have that conversation than she say, "We're having sex tonight, but let me tell you about these other raggedy ass niggas." We ain't having sex tonight. We no,
Not these
no,
other
no.
raggedy ass niggas. Wait a
If
minute. What do
you
you mean
finna have
other?
sex, right. Now I'm raggedy too. Now that
Right.
means you have sex. Now you got me classified as raggedy. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
So
You
you
know what I'm
speaking
saying?
in tongues.
Well, and I stutter. I stutter and I can speak in tongues.
Mm.
So why would I want that? So some of you all, like I said, you get the Academy Award for director of the most horrible screenplay because you kept playing it out. You kept talking about it. You kept giving it life, X, Y, Z, waddy, waddy, waddy. But now we want to move on over
We can
to
move on
identifying external cock blockers
at
and
external cock
also
blockers.
getting past them. External spiritual cock
Mm.
blocking. And I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start
Yes.
it off.
Yes.
Sometimes the spiritual cock blockers can come in. I'm gonna tell you the most lowest level of spiritual cock blockers is when you on the spiritual path, it's not gonna be straight and narrow. And it's not gonna be wide sometimes all the time, and it's not gonna be narrow. Sometimes on the spiritual path, you're gonna be walking holding hands with 5 or 6 people. Sometimes you're gonna be on the path with just one person or 2 people, and sometimes you're gonna be on a damn unicycle on a
Mm-hmm.
high wire. Okay? And so if I was walking and I was holding hands on the spiritual path with 5 or 6 people and had a good experience, and then I come and then later on I'm chilling by myself, and then now me and you are on this path, and then you got a problem with somebody else who is on the spiritual path, and then you telling me some old bullshit about them, messing with my experience that I have with them or I could have with them, you're a spiritual cock blocker. And it's high school. It's high school, yo. It's high. We're supposed to be elevated. How could I elevate my ancestors if me and you can't elevate past, oh, that person over there, that person over there? And as a matter of fact, even as I talk about it, now there's the difference between spiritual cock blocking and like warning somebody. Now, if
Right.
I'm warning somebody, I'm not just trying to cock block. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Right.
it's a warning and I'm saying, yo, that could be dangerous, that's one thing. But it's
Right.
like, choose me. Choose me and don't choose them. Hey, me and you may not be together forever.
Right.
This my path.
Now, how about that? I mean,
I,
and that's across the board. That's across the board. That's if you're talking about a lover. That's if you're talking about your job. That's if you're talking about uh even in spiritual circles. It's like we may not be together forever. There may be a time when we have to separate because that's what rivers do. That's what that's you can't multiply if there's no separation. Why is your face like that?
Because you dropped the science. Spiritual vittles, as my man say.
That's what it has to happen. And that's why I stressed the first part so much about really getting in tune with yourself, because you're able to better navigate the rocky terrain of the path, because it's just the path. We're just all experiencing it differently because that's the way this dimension is set up, but it's the path. And it's not, like you said, it's not always straight and narrow. It's not always going to be a big wide highway like the Autobahn. Sometimes it's the Sahara. Sometimes it's the Antarctic. Sometimes it's underwater. You deep in your emotions. You deep in your feelings. Sometimes you flying high in the sky. Like there's so many different ways that life experiences itself through you,
Mm.
that you really, your job is to become as integrated as possible so that you can flow with life, because life is a flow. Life is not static. And so that means the good comes with the bad. I mean, and you can really oversimplify that and say, well, the good come with the bad. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. That's right. You really have,
There
but
you have
that's,
the facts of life.
there you have the facts of life. You really, and so that's why it's so important to be able to stabilize yourself to a certain degree and to increasing degrees as you go along, so that when life happens, because life happens, people say, and I used to say, oh, this happened to me. This bad thing happened to me. And it's like, but this thing happens. So it's not personal. It's not a personal attack. It's not even if it is personal, it ain't personal, because it's just part of you charge it to the game. You just got to know what game you playing, and you got to become the best player. I heard somebody once say you always got to check for your star player. I don't know who said that. I don't recall who it was. It was some man with long dreadlocks and glasses. He said you always got to check for your star player. And by checking for your star player, that means identifying where you are the toxic person in your life. But then when you start dealing with other people who may not be doing that same work, other people who may not know that they are just emitting toxicity and that they are just hard and stiff-necked. That's really what it is when a person is an obstacle in your life. They're inflexible in their own experience, and so when they enter your space, they bring that same inflexibility with them.
That's the spiritual cock blocker. Is inflexible,
Mm-hmm.
and they want you to be inflexible,
Yeah, they want you to become
and they're
rigid with
backed
them.
up.
Yeah,
They're backed up too. They're
because
backed up.
misery loves company. Misery don't want to be miserable by itself. Miserable wants some company. Misery wants somebody to come and sit with me. And don't you see that I'm in this spiritual rut? And life has been hard for me. And I mean, you shouldn't really expect anything from me because this happened and that happened and that happened.
Is that
And
what the
so,
spiritual cock blockers smell like? That's what they smell like.
yeah, because it's
The spiritual
stagnancy.
cock, the spiritual cock blockers are trying to get you to come over there and jump up on the wall of suffering with them.
Oh,
They have a
please
Velcro
suffer.
suit at the wall of suffering, and they see you out here walking around free, no chain, with keys around your neck, and they want you to jump up on the wall with them and stay up there and not be satisfied spiritually. Of
Right.
course, we know the cock blocker don't want you to be satisfied sexually, but now here we have the spiritual cock blocker wants you to be rigid like them,
Mm-hmm.
and they have no qualms about hitting you off and sharing some of their toxicity. Can you talk
Yeah.
about how the spiritual cock blocker just don't it just don't he got plenty of him or her has
Mm-hmm.
plenty of toxicity of to share. Oh, why are you studying with him? Why you can't just be why you over there? Uh I love my spiritual what I like about Dr. Gibson is he helps identify the spiritual cop blockers. They said, what you studying with him for? Why you ain't a leader? Bitch,
Right.
I am a leader. What you mean? But everybody got a damn boss.
Right.
Everybody got a higher up. He got a higher up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But why are you asking me why I'm studying with him? You ain't leading nobody. You ain't spent no money with me either. So why would you want to not tell me I can be this great leader? But when I tell you something, you don't even listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, a spiritual cock blocker is a professional misdirection artist. I'm gonna go ahead and
Mm.
turn that back over to you now. I
Mm.
done already said what I had to say. They're
Mm.
misdirection artists.
Yeah.
If they can spin you around and get you going in another spiritual direction, you have just met a external spiritual cock blocker. That's
That's
because that's
right.
what they do.
That's what they
They
do.
they come down like Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. Why? They cross you up. They come down like Allen Iverson and cross you up, and then your ankles be done broke, and then you but you was so close to being on your dean, or you was on your dean, and now here they come.
Here they come.
Why
Yeah.
this? Why you doing
Yeah.
that? Let me whisper to your spirit. Are
Right.
you sure that that's the right thing to do?
Right.
One more thing. The spiritual cop blocker will always tell you what they're not sure of. Woo! They will always tell
I
you
don't
what.
know if you should do that. I ain't sure that's gonna work. You know, I just don't know if you should. You know, all the time, in every situation.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's not. I don't know. This is one word. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know. I don't know if you should do that. Not okay, that's a fantastic idea. Let's sit down, sort it out, figure out how we can make it happen. When is the timeline? Help plan, plot, and strategize. I think did I get that from you?
That's
Somebody
somebody
got
got fuzziness.
fuzziness.
Oh, you
Oh,
took
you
the
took the
headphones
headphones
out.
out. I did. I had to take because I had to charge my phone. My phone died.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
feedback.
feedback. Is it still a lot of feedback? Maybe I need to change my location. But then I need to charge my phone. Yeah. We're just gonna have to deal with the feedback. We're gonna try to alleviate it as best we can.
We're
We're
on
on
a
a
roll,
roll,
ladies
ladies
and
and
gentlemen.
gentlemen.
That's a
That's a
Mercury
Mercury
Retrograde,
Retrograde,
brother.
brother.
The
The
phone
phone
wasn't
wasn't
charged
charged
up.
up. It was fully
I
charged.
told
I
her like
told
an
her like an
hour
hour
before
before
you
you
were
were
getting
getting
ready
ready
to
to
do
do
the
the video.
video.
You
You
talking
started
to
to come
someone
on us.
else. You can't tell me fucking about no daggone hour. It's more like 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
But we
We
can't
can't
hear
hear
you.
you. You can't hear me now. No. Okay. All right. Well, why don't you do some talking while my phone gets to juice and then I'll put my headphones
We can
back. We can
close it
close
right
it right
here
here
and
and
we
we
start
start
too
too
late.
late. Too. That sounds good too. It ain't a thing. It ain't a thing. This is an ongoing conversation. You and I have been having this same conversation for years now. We've just been adding on to it, and now we're just sharing it with the public. That's pretty much all that's happening here, people. Yes,
Do
indeed.
y'all
So
follow
y'all
her?
follow her. I'm going to give her
A
no, go
big
ahead. A big
shout
shout
out.
out. We should get some up here
To do
to do
all
all
of
of
this
this
reverb.
reverb.
So
So
she's
she's
gonna
gonna
post
post.
the website. She's the website on the page. I know y'all want to continue this. Miss Lael, absolutely. You need to come hit my closet. I need some help getting some stuff up out of here I don't need. Yes. Follow Go Go. That's her name right there. We're gonna have some more of these conversations. She's still watching. What today was the top thing that you picked up that you could use immediately? Tell me one thing or two things that you picked up from our share today about spiritual cock blockers and how to identify them and get past them. I just have to go back and edit it and say this is just part one. Meek said it was excellent. Candace said it was excellent. Lotus, I hope you can still hear me. But what was the one thing that you took away from it? For me, when she went internalize it and triggered me to talking about, where I am at and actually applying the first virtue of honesty to myself and others at all times is like that was popping right there for me. Like, why am I at where I'm at? But when I like bringing my human design in to help me with my spiritual cock blockers because like I don't really need an agenda. And most spiritual cock blockers, even my internal self, when I'm having an agenda or I'm having a blockage internally, it's because I got some type of agenda that I shouldn't be on. Romantic feelings. Depression comes when you are not on your square. Yes. Being radically honest about what you want. Being radically honest about why you ain't got what you want to. Wow, my daughter shared this to me and I'm removing my own blocks. All right, Kiki Robbins and your daughter. Uh, Tamika Bruce said being honest about why you are where you are. Ding, ding, ding. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did
10 being this was marvelous and you want to see some more of this, and 1, don't ever do this again. How do we do today on a scale of 1 to 10? Please list that on here as well. I'll have to answer that after I watch the replay. Vaughn, you are the professional expert for coming in late, but it's okay. We love you anyway. When examining myself, I need to ask what and why. Yes, Tamika gave us a 20. Courtney said you can either keep being a victim or you can overcome your hurdles. We're trying to be examples for people. Like I said, I wanted to do a video called How I Overcame. Oh, man. Listen. 10. Candace said, why I am where I am. Why do I keep coming back here? Ooh. Meat gave us a 10,000. Lotus said, I was literally talking about this to a spiritual student. It made me think of my past and how I had a lot of teachers like that in the past. I learned I needed them. I learned I needed that then from them because I didn't know my power and I had to see the others try to control me. They wouldn't do that unless it was power there. I had to learn myself. I needed them blockers. Ooh. John Douglas Fleming gave us that looked like a billy, nice 10 billion maybe, or 100 billion. Lotus Love just hit us with $1 million. Miss Lael gave us 100. Lotus gave us a couple mils. LaShonda gave us a 10. Connie gave us a 10. Thank you. Well, I don't want to keep this too long because people will see how long it is and they'll be like, oh, your videos are too long. I want to say I appreciate everybody who does always stay to the end. For those of you who catching the replay, hey Ciola, mwah. Hey Danielle, mwah. Hey Jackie, mwah. Hey Dana, mwah. I have some really close friends. They will sit with me and chop it up for 5 hours. But if I have a video that's longer than 15 minutes, they tell me the video is too long. So I'm giving them a shout out too, mwah, if they make it to the end of this video. What up, Sims Divine? Renee Smith said, I like how you broke it down once before for me personally about drains and fountains. A spiritual cock blocker is a drain. There's 2 types of people in the world. They go by different names, but a spiritual cock blocker is a drain. Go-go is one of my fountains. Being truthful and honest about why you are in your position. Once you realize what the situation is, you're able to change, improve, and analyze. I think all of y'all missed one thing that she tried to stress, though, was getting help. Getting help. You might not know how to fix the car. She says she's a professional helping you unpack things. I'm a professional in personal and professional development. I want to help develop you personally, spiritually, and professionally. But I can't help you if you don't come and say, let me get some help. We can only help the willing. Don't try to do all of this yourself. Sometimes, to be radically honest, you need someone else there. Pow. Elise Lattimore said, being truthful and honest about why you're in a position. Oh, I just read yours. Yes, Gogo. I'm trying to tell him. Hold on. This is Gogo right here. Gogo Ude. I think I got it right. I need my phone to yell at me when you come on. We'll watch the replay from this week later. Okay. When am I coming to Chicago? As soon as y'all got something set up for me to come. It's easy. All you got to do is say, hey, we got something set up. It's the summertime. I'm ready to travel. I'm having to make decisions now. Miserable people think spiritualists are crazy. John Douglas Fleming, Brittany Brown, Miss Lael, everybody, are you trying to do it by yourself? I have such a wise counsel that's around me. That's what I like. I ain't got no cock blockers. Some of y'all can surround yourself with cock blockers, and some of you can surround yourself with wise counsel. I got Gogo on speed dial, along with the whole squadron of hitters. Absolutely. I don't want to see what it's like. But if I was in that situation where I was like depressed or anxiety or all this other type of stuff, then I'm very proud that I have the surrounding team around me that I can call and they can be like, nah, we're gonna whip you into shape. We're gonna whip you out of that and into this. So surround yourself and get some help. Okay? If your friends ain't trained, don't go to them though. Don't go to your friends if they're not trained. Not me. What up, Sonya? Omotoya? The work starts the minute you say, I need support. And be honest about it. Getting the help. Gogo has helped me on my spiritual path so much. I know once I go back and look at the text you sent me, like it'll roll off my tongue. James Archangel Raphael, what's up? Hey, Tiffany. Brother Bullard, Gabrielle, Team Taurus. Can't do it by myself no more, no more. Kiki says, I'm declaring my sanctuary as we speak. This is helping confirm with my true intentions to level up. And Liz Smith is watching. Training matters. Ooh, that's a t-shirt. I should do something. I should do a letter like Ken on it. Either, dear summertime, you hot as hell. I should be like, dear people who are suffering. This is a letter to dear people who are suffering. Dear people who want help. Dear people, you know what? You gonna need some help. You can't do this. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual is not a game. That's the affirmation. I am in the love of all and all love is in me. I am a part of all and all love is in me. I am one with all and all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all as long as my wish is to stay in the all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Istanje ilaku. In need of wise counsel. Hey, I found y'all in peace. I'm going to leave y'all in prayer, and I appreciate it. We're going to come back with part 2, maybe tomorrow or the next day, whenever we get around to it, and we got the time. I'm got some other stuff I'm going to be doing today. I might do something with Torah. I'll probably do another one by myself because I got like 3 other topics I want to discuss, but that was just one me and her had, and we did that together today. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Share this if you're just getting here. Press 2. Share with a friend who might have some problems, if you want to put some of your spiritual cock blockers on notice. Anabakoa Gijalakiminka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagibor, Deshe Yakadeka, Kababa Shamran, Barkam Taram Rakame, Tazika Taker, Tamid Gamlin, Kasin Kadosh, Bararuf Tufka, Nahela Taker, Yakid Gehel, Chapanez, Okreka Tushka Taker, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma, Tazakatanu, Yodea Talamot, Baruch Shem, Kavomakuto, Alam Vaed. Definitely contact Gogo. Absolutely. All is, I am. Spiritual Cock Blockers is a t-shirt. That is a hot one. And then put the circle with the slash on it. Another t-shirt ideal. Oh, absolutely. Spiritual Cock Blockers. And then put the drum on it and then draw the line across. See? I just put it up there. Thank you for them ideals. I appreciate it. I love y'all. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.